I'm officially learning C++ for the very first time, and honestly, it's kind of intimidating. But I have been digging into the history of how this language actually works, and it finally clicked for me. So today, I want to break down exactly what I have learned so far to completely jargon-free so we can tackle this thing together. First thing first, before we had C++, we had just regular C. Way back in 1972, this guy named Dennis Ritchie built C because he needed a way to write operating system. You know, the main software that makes computer actually run. He wanted it super fast, lightweight and portable. Portable just means you can write the code once and run it on different types of computers. Before C, if you wanted your program to work on different machines, you basically had to rewrite the whole thing from scratch. C fixed that and it became a massive hit. So if C was so great, why do we have C++? Well, by 1979, software was getting way bigger and more complicated. Another engineer named Barney Storstrup looked at C and basically said, "This is awesome, but it needs an upgrade." So he created CPP as an extension. Think of CPP as a C with superpowers. The biggest superpower he added is something called object-oriented programming. Look, don't let the fancy name scare you. From what I understand, it's just a cleaner way to organize your code so you don't get lost when your project gets huge. We will get into how that works in future videos, but for now, just know that CPP gets a fresh update every 3 years. Keep it modern. Now, here's the craziest thing I found about CPP. Its main rule is trust the programmer. See, modern languages like Python or JavaScript act like a protective parent. If you try to do something weird or dangerous with the computer's memory, they will stop you and say, "Don't do that." But CPP, it doesn't care. It assumes you are a total genius who knows exactly what you are doing. If you write a code that accidentally breaks your computer's memory or crashes your systems, CPP won't stop you. It just say, "Alright boss, you are in charge. Let's see what happens." That's why everyone says when you are learning CPP, learning what not to do is just as important as learning what to do. It's like learning to drive a race car. It's incredible fast, but you really need to know where the brakes are. Because it's an older language, I actually looked up if CPP is dying. Turns out absolutely not. It consistently ranks as one of the top 5 languages in the entire world. Why? Because it gives you absolute control and raw speed. If a program needs to run perfectly without lagging, it's usually written in CPP. We are talking about big budget video games, high speed finance app, robotics and AI, and the actual software inside the smart devices. So yes, it's not going anywhere. The last big question I had, and maybe you have it too, is do I need to learn C before I start learning CPP? No, you can jump straight into CPP. In fact, learning CPP first is awesome because it forces you to understand how computer actually works under the hood. And if you ever needed to learn C later for a hardware project, it will be a breeze. So that's the map of the territory. We are standing at the starting line of a pretty intense language, but we have got this. If you want to follow along with my journey learning this from scratch, let's do this together. I will see you in the next video where we actually write our first line of code.